an important assignment create a harmonic convergence. Mother/Father God, May 4, 2013 Channel. Catherine D. May said, Dear ones, we want to reassure you that the process of ascension continues, and the disclosure events you were waiting to see have not been discarded from the plan. Your messages as they were recorded here were calling for an uncloaking of the ships over the Press Club building where the disclosure hearings were being held. Ashtar himself has told you that he intended to appear in or around May 3, and we are still hopeful that this will be possible, although it may be done on a worldwide basis rather than centered in Washington, D.C. Ashtar is eager to appear to all of you and to make the landings which will allow his crew of eager twin flames to reunite with their loved ones possible. He is so eager that he allowed his message to have a time-limited interpretation, and we have often said that we do not give dates, because humankind has a tendency to become fixed on a point in time and will be devastated if the events do not unfold as they wish. The window of opportunity for the uncloaking of ships continues for 2 more days. There are cosmic requirements, spiritual requirements and timing requirements which require the final decision to be made by Prime Creator. We are not in control of those decisions, although we do have access to much of the information on which the decisions are made. However, like you, we are not always in full possession of every element of knowledge at all times. Our position is higher in the dimensional perspective than yours, but we are not the ultimate voice. This is a difficult position for us, for all of you, for our channels who have trusted our word and followed our every suggestion, and for the ascended masters who are working in good faith, often doing their work in semi-darkness, but with determination and unfailing commitment. It is a phenomenal project we have undertaken together, and our desire to see this crucial phase completed is weighing heavily on all of us. Do not allow the importance of the project to allow you to be pulled back into the urgency, impatience and petulance that is three-dimensional thinking. We have been in this place before, on December 22, when many of you were infuriated because the ascension process did not look the way you had hoped. Do not lose hope, and do not lose your calm determination to carry this through, beloved ones. Let us consider the options over which you all have some control. One of the requirements for this ascension process, including the disclosure and uncloaking events, is that humankind, of its own free will, reach a level of commitment and participation which will allow for the opening of higher dimensions to welcome them. This opening process is a matter of group consciousness, which by our measurements has reached a much higher level in recent months. However, the moment which will tip the balance is a matter of organic, evolutionary interplay of forces which are more intricate and complex than any human mind can possibly grasp. Now, the truth of this is that there are also some of these complexities which are not within the grasp of even the most advanced masters and enlightened beings. We too do our jobs to guide, counsel and provide unconditional love and support as we all work toward increasing the vibration of the great multiverse. We represent truth and love in our dealings with you, and we keep always to the principles of universal law, which requires only actions which are of the greater good. At this time, it is the greater good which is at issue. It is never optimal for our children to be given responsibilities or privileges which are beyond their capacity to process or handle. It is always best for the student to raise him/herself to the level of competence before graduation. We feel the truth of this law at this time, and hope that we can transmit to you the sense of gratitude and hope that we feel for the patience and constant care which all beings are given, each according to their individual needs, and each according to the needs of the greater unity. You are just learning, dear ones, the meaning of unity consciousness. It is not a concept you have taken too easily. The spirit of independence and free will is not contradictory to unity, but it is a long road from freedom and liberty as many on your planet have practiced it by exercising greed and destruction of Earth's resources, to a genuine quality of freedom which respects and nurtures the needs of every living thing equally. You may have noticed the recognition of these truths during the citizens' hearings. The seemingly unanimous acceptance of the presence of benevolent cousins was received without objection, and the feeling of conviction that we have begun a new way of life was felt by all in the room. The energy level was high fifth dimension, and it carried everyone along. The threat to the status quo was absolutely evident and present. You may have noticed that a few of the speakers were far more passionate and emboldened than they had been previously, and several were far more eloquent than they had been all week. You may even have noticed a new use of the language of one, the idea that we will all do this together, and the frank declaration that your government is not run by Congress, is not representative at all, but is run by corporations. Those ringing words were encouraged, you might say, by the presence of our Archangel Michael to work by overlighting powerful suggestion to encourage those whose beliefs were in this direction, to speak them passionately. They will not be aware that the words were not completely their own but were inspired by divine intervention because these individuals are evolving toward unity consciousness themselves. Now, we hope you are prepared to join the effort to make one more giant push toward tipping the balance. We all wish and hope for the decision to reveal the presence of your star brothers and sisters within this window, this week. We ask that you take part in a group effort which will demonstrate willingness to make the sacrifice and to do your part for the greater good. Here is the process which was recommended by Zora of Hollow Earth, and which we endorse wholeheartedly. This night, May 4th at midnight in whatever time zone you inhabit, you will begin the meditation in which you will concentrate fully without interruption and without any electronic devices to distract you on envisioning the glorious uncloaking of the Ashtar command ships and the final disclosure being officially announced by governments all across the globe. You will concentrate for 4 full hours, foregoing the comfort and pleasure of sleep, instead dedicating yourself to the conscious joining with your friends and loved ones who are also following Zora's instructions through the www.hollowarenetwork.com website. You will produce an effect similar to the harmonic convergence which began this phase of your ascension process and will demonstrate your willingness to do your part. A second offering of willingness will be to skip your evening meal, if you have not already partaken of it, and to offer instead your will, your concentration and your love to the process of creating an energetic miracle of high vibrational consciousness which will raise the level across the planet, creating a wave of escalating energy to carry you all across the threshold to high fifth dimensional consciousness. If you have not received this message in time to accomplish the meditation tonight, then do the same meditation tomorrow night to show your solidarity and intention to do your part for the greater good. Your efforts will be equally important. And now we ask that Catherine post this message for all of you to read, and we send you our unconditional love and support in your ambitious project. We are Mother/Father God.